Just days before my flight out to Costa Rica, my dog's health took a big turn for the worse. Giblet showed up at my doorstep when he was about 3 months old, and for the last 16 years, he's been my best friend, going everywhere I go and doing everything I do. I ended up canceling the first week of my Costa Rica trip, and thank goodness I did, because I had the opportunity to spend our final days together. Me and my dog. Doing dog stuff. It's such a tough process, because during the day he seemed okay, and you begin to question your decisions if the time is now. But at night it got really bad, and it was obvious that he was leaving us.
Slime.
We said goodbye from the comfort of our home, and I held him in my arms as I felt his last breath and the life slowly disappear from my reach. What does this have to do with spearfishing in Costa Rica? Well, for me, it has everything to do with it. And if this wasn't enough for me, I landed to find that Southwest Airlines had snapped my most prized possession and the only spear gun that I had brought down here. On top of that, my credit card wasn't working, so I was unable to get my rental car that I needed. 4 hours and a $350 taxi cab ride later, I made it to my destination with 3 hours to get some sleep before we needed to be on the boat. Needless to say, I was in desperate need of some ocean therapy. First day on the water was a success. We found a good pod of spinner dolphins that had a lot of tuna with them. Needless to say, we had a pretty epic first day on the water. But for me, this was the defining moment. Even though I was on the water, it was hard to let go of the fact that I had just lost my best friend, and I felt like it was a constant struggle to kind of keep my head up and smile. Even though was small, this fish meant so much to me. It felt like my boy was watching over me, and he sent me this fish because he knew that I needed it desperately. Our second day on the water was much different from our first. We spent the majority of the morning searching for a good spinner pod, but came up with nothing. We'd find some single dolphins here and there, but no big pods and no tuna. So we ended up coming back closer to shore and found a good pod of spinner dolphins with tuna. But the only problem was there was a parking lot of boats all trying to do the exact same thing.
What do you see? Tuna, hopefully. I'm trying not to hit boats here.
One of the things I love about diving for yellowfin in this area is that normally the pod and the fish will stick around, so you can have many opportunities to dive on the same school. But when you get a lot of boats going for the same pod,
let's go for it. Go, 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 go.
People start to get a little impatient and start driving over the school, pushing the fish down and causing the pod to not only change directions, but to start to spread out. All of this fishing pressure also makes the fish very skittish, so they move faster and they're harder to get close to. And unfortunately, since we had come in closer, we found ourselves in some green, murky, less than ideal conditions for hunting.
Guys, go for it when you're ready.
All right, you're good, you're good.
It's not that hard for a lot of boats like this to strategically target the same pod and the same group of fish, but it takes patience and communication. Luckily, I managed to find the one group of relaxed fish and brought back what I believe was the only tuna for that day.
Is it edible? Yeah, I need my way to that.
I think it's very important in this day and age that we understand where our food comes from and give these animals the respect that they deserve. On our last day, we wanted to do a little bit of hook and line fishing so that we could capture a little bit of that on camera.
Nice.
Kai, what's going on here? What do you
We're
see?
about to jump in with some yellowfin, man, and get some big fish. Well, there's no boats around, so we're laughing. No one else to annoy us.
For our last day on the water, I had been dreaming of finding a pod of spinners with no boats. And we managed to do just that. This right here is one of the most iconic sights for any spearfisher. The tombstone float making its run. The main goal for this last day was to try to land a bigger fish. We had a lot of amazing footage I captured, but I wanted to get a follow cam shot of Kai landing something bigger, and mostly of what we had been seeing, smaller fish. So we took a lot of dives, and Kai had a lot of opportunities that he passed up on until the perfect moment came. And that wraps up the last day of diving with Kai and drift spearfishing.
Smile, hey! Smile! How do you guys end up so sandy?
A taste tester.
What are you laughing at?
So stay tuned for the next video where I'll be going 12 hours south to meet up with the legendary Terry Moss and Callie Gallagher of Diving for a Cause. Thanks for joining. See you guys on the next one.